And you know, Obama talks about change, but if they want to find about real change, they're going to have to come to our rally.
We need less of everything. And that's where a guy like Ron Paul is on the fucking money, man. That bad motherfucker.
I love that guy.
Oh, he's the best. Because the way he talks is the way, what in my mind is America. What my mind is, there's an ideal.
He believes in personal freedom and responsibility and allowing people to make their own choices.
And makes the call on what is really going on and why we're invested in all these different parts of the world and what we're really doing. He's honest about it, and he's saying this is not what America should be all about. And he says that all the time. This is not what this Constitution was supposed to mean. This is not what our founding fathers wanted. This is this is supposed to be the best example possible of what you can do with a society. This is 2011. We've learned from the Greeks. We've learned from the Romans. We learned from everybody. We've got it down. But we don't. We don't. And it's transparent how we don't. It's all there. Because his belief in the Constitution and his belief in what America really should be, that we shouldn't be the police of the world, that we shouldn't be wasting all our resources in all these different countries, that we should be strengthening up our country, our inner cities, our structures, our business, our manufacturing, pull all that resources in and stop giving it to all these fucking gigantic war companies, because that's what they are. They're war profiteers, and the war profiteers have hijacked the whole system, and the pharmaceutical companies have hijacked the fucking drug laws.
It's pretty amazing watching the debates, and anybody that speaks that besides Ron Paul, it's like total bullshit. Everybody, just nothing but bullshit. And then Ron Paul, that's like a real dude who's breaking it down. You know, honestly, he you know, his whole drug policy, that takes big balls to come out like that with his drug policy. You know what I mean? Why do you think the media is ignoring him?
Because he's not media-centric. He doesn't do anything that all these giant corporations want. Everything that he says is like utopia, you know, dream state where the military-industrial complex doesn't really have control over Congress and the politicians and everyone at the top of the heap. But they really do. They really do. I think he's the only guy that's saying, listen, we need a radical restructuring of our government. And he's absolutely correct. And he is what a real conservative is supposed to be. I mean, he's a real conservative, a fiscal conservative, a social conservative, but he wants people to be able to do whatever they want. He believes in states' rights. He believes that the federal government is completely out of control, that it's too big. He believes that, you know, we have to get rid of the IRS. It's a flawed institution. He believes we have to get rid of the Federal Reserve. He believes all these things that totally make sense. And when he says these things on TV, they laugh and they make it like it's a joke. Like, even though we know that the system is completely unfixable. I mean, if you look at the way it is now, just it's a honeycomb of corruption and just a bureaucratic BS and red tape, and it's just, God, it's a business. The government is a business, and we need, and the way this world is structured, it's almost like we need that business to keep running in this ridiculous manner in order to keep people working. And that's all stuff that Ron Paul, you know, what he stands against. And any rational, reasonable person who would listen to Ron Paul talk goes, well, here's a guy who obviously understands the system, was calling the economic collapse way in advance.
30 years ago.
There's a big move for Ron Paul right now, man. He's moving. With this Occupy Wall Street thing, Ron Paul is fucking exploding. Ron Paul is neck and neck with Newt Gingrich right now in the Iowa poll.
Right.
That is unprecedented. People, they're not expecting this.
Did you hear
all these other guys are falling apart? That's the crazy thing about these dummy Republicans. All of them, slowly but surely, are showing that they're morons. The frightening thing to a lot of people about it is the sheer change that a Ron Paul would bring about. And, you know, a real change like that is absolutely terrifying to people. Even though they know that the situation right now is completely fucked up, completely unfair, the Congress is bought, everything's stolen, it's a total wreck. They're terrified of change. They're terrified.
Not so much anymore. You got to get beaten into a state of reasonableness.
Do you think it's at the tipping point?
We're at the collapse of human industrial civilization since 2008. I know that the world has turned inside out several times. It's getting nothing but worse. And people are, you know, one of the best lines I heard out of the Occupy movement was somebody was asking, the protesters are moving along in New York, and they said, what are you protesting? And this really attractive, smart woman says, everything. Everything. Everything is corrupt. Everything is lie. Everything is bogus. And, you know, there's a lot of us that can see that, because that's what we're fighting about now. When we want to get Ron Paul elected, that's what we're fighting about. It stops when the people wake up to the point and says, this has got to stop. And Ron Paul is bringing that aha moment. You know, like the emperor's new clothes, when everybody in this country looks at every other sane person in this country and says, Jesus Christ, this is all corrupt, crooked, we're not... And all of a sudden we all see it. When you were on Leno recently with Ron Paul, I saw it was a great segment. I mean, like, ooh. When Ron Paul said, now the White House is trying to tell us that Iran had something to do with 9/11, well, that's what they... And the audience went berserk.
Yeah.
The collective consciousness and
they're waking up.
Everybody here is like filled right up to here, right now, and they're just ready. And really, that's why I think Ron Paul's such a threat right now. If he wins with a landslide, it's now Democrats and Republicans no more. It's Ron Paul and the Democrats and the Republicans, and we got a whole new paradigm.
Wow.
We got to get the truth out. That is what we need.